All right, last video here for day 7, guided practice 8.6. We have 3 questions. I'm going to quickly go through each of them and give you some hints, and then you can work on them either alone or with a partner. Number 13, which situation could be represented by the graph? So you need to read each of these options and think which situation would make the most sense for that graph there. Okay, so go slowly on this one. Think of each situation, and remember that even though we can't check this on Desmos, why don't you, for this one, give me a little explanation as to why you think that you selected the correct answer. All right, so let's really quickly just say explain. All right, so teachers, if you're watching this video or if you happen to see this, I'm not going to give my students credit for number 13 unless they explain why they chose their answer. It's too easy to just circle an answer and move on from there. Number 14, what is the equation for the line graph? So these 4 equations would be off here to the right, and then you'd have to click and drag them over. It already gave you the answer. So what I'm going to ask you to do instead is take each of these. You could type it in if you want to, and go ahead and find the y-intercept, the x-intercept, and the slope for each of these 4 graphs. Okay, so again, you could type this into Desmos if you want, and then find the y-intercept, the x-intercept, and the slope for all 4 graphs. Okay, and number 15. I'm going to read through this one together. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you just need to say yes or no. Yes or no. If it's yes, you can put a check next to each of these. If it's no, you can put an X next to each of these. And we will kind of do this one together, but I won't tell you the answer. Okay, so first one here. We have f of x in red. We have g of x in blue. The slope of the function f of x is steeper than the slope of the parent function. So is this red line steeper than the blue line? The word steeper means it has a larger slope. Does this red line have a larger slope than the blue line? Yes or no? Okay, second one. The slope of the function f of x, so the red, is less steep than the slope of the parent function, so the g. Is the red function less steep than the blue function? So what that means is the red function have a smaller slope than the blue function? Yes or no? Okay, third option. The slope of the function f of x is equal to the slope of the function g of x. So does the red function have the same slope as the blue function? Are they equal slopes? Yes or no? Okay, third one here. Fourth one. The function f of x is shifted 2 units up from the parent function. So this red function f of x, is it shifted up 2 units from g of x? So if you started at g of x and you moved up 2 units, would that be f of x? Yes or no? Okay, option 5. The function f of x is shifted 2 units down from the parent function. So we start at the parent function g of x. If we were to shift this blue line down 2, would it be the red function? Yes or no? And the last one here, the function f of x is shifted 0 units up or down from the parent function. So if we take the parent function g of x, we would get the red function by shifting 0 units up or down. It would just be not shifted at all. Is that yes or no? Okay, if you haven't yet, go ahead and finish circling yes or no for 15. Find your y-intercepts, your x-intercepts, and your slope for 14. And then read each choice carefully, and then give me an explanation here for 13.